Hi everyone, it's me, Electra, back with another video. I don't know what day it is since I still don't have a proper uploading schedule, but I hope you had an amazing week. Now that we are in the end of May and spring is soon coming to an end, I thought this would be the proper time to share some simple and cute Springcore themed areas, as well as some overall tips to achieve the Springcore aesthetic. I am not a Springcore expert, so I would like to give a shout out to Stacy Crossing on Instagram. I think she has a gorgeous Springcore island and I've taken a lot of inspiration from her, so you should definitely check her out. A link to her Instagram account will be in the descriptions below. The only area on my island that I would consider to be Springcore is this camper van build that I made in another video. You can check it out if you haven't already, but for this video I will show you 3 new areas that only requires a handful of items each. So this is the area we have to work with. These designs require no terraforming or waterscaping whatsoever, which means you can recreate this pretty much anywhere on your island and it will still look good. For all 3 areas I will use the same base, which is 4 trees. Using trees is a great way to separate different themed areas while still giving it a natural feel, and if you sometimes struggle with terraforming, which I do, this is an easy thing to do that also gives great results. I'm going to make one of them a fruit tree to give the area a little bit more texture. Using the right custom codes is always important when trying to follow a certain style or aesthetic, so if you're planning to do a Springcore island, I would recommend looking up different designs you want to use. I usually use Twitter or Instagram to find designs I like, and it can often help looking at Animal Crossing accounts that has your desired theme to get inspiration on what custom designs works together. You'll quickly notice that a lot of Springcore islands use the same designs. I picked out this light brick path I've seen at a lot of Springcore islands. I am a big fan of brick paths in general because you only need 5 or 6 slots to make it look good, as well as the designs are very versatile. I'm going to use the diagonal blanket, which in my opinion is the most Springcore blanket out there. I'm also going to use some other green and light orange ones, which I'll use as blankets, pillow designs, cloths, and so on. As usual, I will leave all the designs I used in the descriptions. For the first themed area, I'm going to make an outdoor bath. I'm starting with placing down this green wedding arch. This item is great in Springcore designs, and so is all the other wedding items when you customize them. Using an arch is also a great way to give your design a bit of height. The colors are lush and fresh, as well as the details are just chef's kiss. My next tip is to figure out your color scheme and then stick with it. You'll see that I'm going to use a lot of green, yellow, and soft orange colors, which is what I've seen the most in Springcore. Of course, there are all kind of different color themes, and you don't have to use the ones I mentioned, but if you want your island to have these Springcore vibes, it's easier to do that when you use light and soft colors. Now I'm just gonna place down the rest of the items, and as you can see, I'm not actually using that much stuff to decorate. It's only about 11 items plus some additional stuff I use to fill the background. And now we get to the part that I think is the most fun, as well as it ties the whole area together: flowers! Flowers are super important in Springcore, and you'll have to use lots of them. Flowers are at least the first thing that pops up into my head when I think of spring in general, and again, they are really important if you want to achieve that lush feeling. Pink, yellow, orange, and green flowers works perfectly, and my favorite to use are mums, hyacinths, and cosmos. When placing down flowers, my rule of thumb is to avoid placing 2 flowers of the same type next to each other, and to avoid placing 2 flowers of the same color next to each other. I do that for the most part, but you'll see I ignored my own rule at the end as I started to run out. One thing you also can see I do, which isn't a Springcore tip, but more just a design tip in general, is that I open my photo app to see how the area looks while I decorate. I think this helps a lot when you are doing a small area like this to make it seem more whole and cohesive. And that is pretty much it for this one. Here are some beauty shots of the outdoor bath area. And we are moving on to the next area. As you can see, I removed all the furniture and I've let the flowers and trees and the background stuff just stay behind, and I'm gonna change up the pathing a little bit. Not too much, it's pretty simple, and as you'll see, the brick path is just so perfect that you can use it in so many designs, and I love it so much. So for this design, I am going to make a little riding spot, I guess. I don't really have an official name for this area, but I'm imagining someone having a rider's block and then be able to sit here and enjoy the flowers and get inspiration. So this brings me over to my next tip, which is to use light wood furniture. Some good examples of this are the antique furniture set or just the regular wooden furnitures. Also my favorite, the piano bench. That is also why you'll see a lot of hardwood trees in Springcore, because they have this light wood color, as well as the leaves are a lot greener and fresher. I feel like that's the only way I'm explaining stuff at this point. Just make it green, make it fresh, make it feel like spring. I also thought it was super cute how the potted plant matched the typewriter. That was mainly just by coincidence, but I'm really happy with how that turned out. Now I'm just placing down some random flowers again, and as you can see, the flowers just brings the area together so well. a few items and a bunch of flowers later, we are done with the second Springcore idea. Then we are moving on to the third and final idea, which is a picnic area slash tea party slash cake eating area, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm gonna start with changing up the big pots a little bit. Then I will add a big blanket as a centerpiece. When I can, I try to combine 2 or more blankets together. The diagonal blanket I used in the first design is a great thing to combine with other blankets, as it gives the area some different shapes and make it overall look more interesting to look at. My last and final Springcore tip is to pay attention to details. I feel like micro areas or small cozy details in bigger builds are what makes or breaks the Springcore aesthetic. Adding small details make the areas feel more personal and lived in, and it just overall gives you good vibes. Like I've showed in this video, or at least tried to do, is to show that you don't need a lot of items or go full-on cluttercore to make a cute area. When adding these details, I always think it's nice to try to tell a story. For example, in my last build, I added books and papers, like the person writing needed ideas to write or scribble down their ideas, and a little coffee cup to keep them awake. Here I'm adding a cutting board that would be handy when slicing up the cake, and I imagine this sewing box was filled with cutlery or whatever. As you can see, you don't need a deep meaning behind these stories, but simple things like this can help make an area stand out. And then we are finished with the third and final idea. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this video helped you get some new ideas for your Springcore island, or just ideas in general that would make me really happy too. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and let me know in the comments which one of these 3 areas is your favorite, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!